Have you created your vision board and written down everything that you want to manifest in your life? Are you using your imagination and creating the life of your dreams? In my last video, I explained that using your imagination is the fastest way to manifest your heart's desires. And this video is for you if you've done all of that work, you've made the vision boards, but you know deep down inside that something's off. It just doesn't feel right. Maybe you feel like this works for other people and you'll try it, but you really don't believe it yet. How do I know this? Because I've been there. You see, as a financial advisor, I had massive goals and huge dreams, but year after year of getting the same results, I knew there was a gap between where I was and where I wanted to be. And it was frustrating. So although it was a very long process for me, the great news is that I figured it out and I want to share it with you. And that's why I wrote my book, Allow Life to Happen and Receive Everything You Desire, so that you can read my book and figure it all out a whole lot faster than I did. Now, using your imagination is very popular, and people want to make vision boards, which is great. But for most of us, there are a few steps before it. At least that's what I've discovered and learned from myself. Now, I've been blessed that God's Spirit Universe has shown me the 7 steps to manifesting through my own personal experiences. So everything I share here comes from having lived it. Now, in this video, I'm going to go into detail the first step to manifesting so that you can start to believe in your inherent worthiness. Now, I know that you're not going around and saying, oh, I'm not worthy of my dreams or I don't deserve it. But when you peel back the layers of beliefs and thoughts, they just might be what is actually holding you back. Through both my experience and hearing many other people say the exact same thing, the first step to manifesting is learning to have complete awareness of your thoughts. Why is this so important? Because your thoughts lead to your feelings, which inspires you to take actions, which creates the results that you have in your life. So let's do some work together to find out ways to help you become more aware of your thoughts and to discover possible beliefs or old stories that don't really belong to you. You might be thinking thoughts or having beliefs simply because it's what you heard growing up. But now you get to choose what you want to believe. I call this exercise the decade experience. It's a very simple exercise, but it's also very telling. Now, the first thing that you want to do is to take a piece of paper and on the left-hand side, put your birth date and then draw a line all the way across the paper. And then you want to put a vertical line for each decade that you've lived. Then you want to reflect on every decade from birth to age 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, and so on. And reflect and ask yourself these questions. Where was I living? Who was I living with? What brought me joy? And what were the significant events that occurred? Now, as you're asking yourself these questions and reviewing one decade at a time, reflect on your beliefs about money, financial freedom, and wealth. And see if you can discover any beliefs or old stories along the way that might keep you from living the life of your dreams, from living a prosperous, abundant life now. You might discover that some of your beliefs aren't really yours. Perhaps it's what someone else taught you, your parents or your grandparents, teachers, family members. Perhaps your parents used to say, money doesn't grow on trees, or money is the root of all evil. You want to discover these beliefs because if these false beliefs don't change, then nothing changes. You want to identify these beliefs, where they come from, and if they're not serving you, let them go. Through your awareness from where they came from, you can let them go. You see, they're not yours. It shouldn't feel like it's hard work or struggle or effort to live a life that you love. In fact, that was one of my beliefs that I learned from my parents, especially from my dad. See, my dad worked very hard. He was a police officer and he worked the graveyard shift. And then during the day, he painted houses. He slept very little. And I grew up thinking that it was normal to have 2 jobs. Life was supposed to be hard and you had to work hard to succeed. And then working hard for me was like a badge of honor. I could put in more hours than anybody else. That wasn't until I learned that I don't have to struggle. Throughout my spiritual journey, I discovered that I could allow life to happen with ease and flow. And when you discover any thoughts that keep you stuck, you must let them go. And when you do, you'll begin to feel empowered. You see, you are not a victim. Whatever beliefs that you have about yourself and the world around you are simply the thoughts that you keep thinking over and over. If you have a negative thought, you have the power to change that thought. Therefore, you have the power to change your beliefs too. No one is in your head thinking for you. It's all you. You have the power to change any thoughts that are no longer serving you. You have the power to think positive, uplifting thoughts about yourself and others, and you have the power to think abundance over poverty, to think faith over fear, love over hate, and wellness over sickness. You get to choose your thoughts, and you do create your own reality. And you can start today by following these 3 steps. Number 1, become aware. Through reflecting and reviewing your life decade by decade, determine if there are any thoughts and beliefs that are not actually yours. Number 2, let them go. For example, if it was your mother's belief that you couldn't afford nice things, let her have that belief back. It's not yours and it's not serving you. Number 3, make a choice. Make a choice that you're going to choose positive and empowering thoughts only. Now you can use your imagination and dream. Now you can create a reality you love based on your power and not your weakness, based on your faith, not your fear, and based on your clarity, not your confusion. Quieting your mind and meditating will allow life to happen for you. You've always been worthy and deserving. It's just that we get programmed when we're younger, and we must go through this process to release these beliefs. My sense of being inherently worthy came to me when I realized that I was an infinite spiritual being having a temporary physical experience. My whole perspective changed about who I am and why I'm here. I believe that we come here for the expansion of our soul, and it's not until we get past the programming that we begin to remember who we really are and why we are here. For the expansion, for the joy and the bliss and the fun and the adventure. So what is it that you want to create?